Hi, Dr. Locklear, it's Nancy. After working on the thinking maps for this module, I have learned that EdTPA isn't something you can just put together one night. It is more strategic than that. Task one mainly focuses on planning. Here, the teacher must figure out what she's going to teach or he's going to teach. Here, the teacher must also consider how does the standards and learning objectives address importing literacy strategies and reading and writing connections. The teacher must also consider how their teaching will affect the students. But before they start thinking of all that, they must consider what the children already know and what don't they know. They can get this information by talking to the teacher in the classroom and get an understanding on what are the students' prior knowledge. After you receive this information, you must think about is the content you're trying to teach appropriate for your students? If not, how will you address misconceptions? Part two is instruction. I believe part two is the most fun part because you actually get to interact with students. But in order to complete part two properly, you must be comfortable in your environment and facilitate learning for your students. In part two, you basically take everything that you planned in part one and do it in a classroom. As student teachers, it's our job to teach these students how to use this new knowledge and how to incorporate it into the prior knowledge. Task three is assessing. In task three, we write a reflection piece. In this reflection piece, we must consider our students' strengths and their weaknesses. In this piece, we also must include a feedback from a student or a group of students to see if our learning was effective. If not, how did we address these struggles? This analysis will help the candidate plan for the next instruction. It will also provide them with feedback to see what they need to work on and what they need to keep doing. All in all, this module has shown me that EdTPA is something that will prepare you as a teacher later on. Like I mentioned before, EdTPA isn't something that you take lightly. It is something that takes a lot of planning, a lot of executing, and reflection. I know you mentioned in class that some people get really stressed over this procedure, but I will be using the EdTPA song to try to push me through. Thank you.